Valuation of long-term liabilities. Unusual transactions for most financial concerns and important and big transactions for all concerns come under or are represented by long-term liabilities. For a large company or corporation, audit and hence valuation of long-term liabilities require the approval of its board of directors. Long-term liabilities are classified as liabilities under debentures and liabilities under long-term loans. So we'll take a look at what each of them means. Debentures. By issue of debentures, a company raises a loan, and a debenture, in fact, is an acknowledgement of a debt by the company. Debentures are usually issued under a common seal and may be secured or unsecured by a fixed or floating charge on some of its assets. It bears a fixed rate of interest, and normally a debenture holder is a creditor of a company and have no role to play in the management of a company. A debenture pays 15% or more interest, but recently may have been reduced and are redeemable at a premium. Debentures are usually secured by a charge on an immovable property of the company. It is also traded in stock exchanges. Debentures may be convertible, where debenture holders can convert them into equity shares. It can be naked debentures, where debentures in this case is not secured by a charge on the company's asset. It can be secured, which means secured by a charge on the company's asset. Redeemable, which means basis of repayment may be on a specified date. Non-redeemable, which means no specific date is fixed by the company for repayment of debentures. Debentures can also be bearer debentures, where debentures are transferable by delivery, and non-bearer or registered debentures, where debentures are transferable by registering this debenture with a company. The auditor should examine articles of association and memorandum of association to see to it whether a company who is issuing debentures can in fact issue a debenture. The auditor should prepare a schedule of debenture holders with reference to register of debenture holders and should examine debenture account in the ledger and make sure it contains transactions that are legal material. The auditor should make sure any sinking fund created for repayment of debentures is complied with as per norms. The charges created in the register of charges should be examined by the auditor for completeness of the set charges in the register. The auditor should also make sure that all the SEBI guidelines are followed for debenture issues and is complied with the regulations in the trading houses. Next, we'll take a look at what is long-term loans. Long-term loans are secured by mortgaging property of the company. Mortgage in simple terms mean that a charge is created to secure a debt or financial benefit received. The auditor in this regard should examine the mortgage deed for verification of the amount of loan raised, terms of repayment agreed, as well as rate of interest on the loan. All the receipts in regard to a loan paid should be examined, as well as the fact that mortgage is discharged before the balance sheet date should also be recorded by the auditor in the auditor notes. Next, we'll take a look at what is valuation of contingent liability. So here we'll actually see what are contingent liability and how the auditor goes about valuating them. A contingent liability, as explained before, normally may or may not develop into a liability. It is different from future liability in terms of the fact that a future liability is surely going to be there in the future, whereas a contingent liability may not be. Now, the Companies Act mandates that all contingent liability should be shown in the footnote of the balance sheet of a company. So, the auditor should obtain a list of all contingent liability from their client. He should also make sure all contingent liabilities are certain and is shown well in the balance sheet. In this connection, the auditor should also examine the board of directors' approval on the matter. Now, this completes valuation of liabilities. Thank you.